Good morning, YouTube. Oh, what a nice, lovely, cloudy morning it is. But today, I'm back because I want to do an updated review video on my Explorer here. You can see she's just sitting there, kind of dirty, but wanted to give you an updated review video because it's been about 5 years now since I did the last review video, which is right after I bought the car. So I just wanted to let y'all see, how it's running and basically what's happened to it over the time that I've owned it. It's been a great vehicle, but I just haven't done any review videos because I guess I kind of stopped for a while, so I apologize about that. I haven't been on YouTube in a while making videos or putting new stuff up for y'all, and today I want to change that. I want to, get an update review video of the car. Like I said, she's a little dirty. I haven't really cleaned her in a while. The weather out here has been crazy. It's like always cloudy or raining. It's only sunny for a day or two, so I've just been really hesitant on washing the car because it's like, what's the point if it's just gonna rain again? So, but, yeah, let's get down there and check her out, shall we? Alright guys, so walking up to the Explorer, this is my 2001 Ford Explorer Sport. I bought it off of a friend of mine, a friend of my cousin's. He was selling it because he got another vehicle. He didn't really need this one anymore. He didn't really need the money either. So I got this thing for a steal. $16.90, that's about it. But it only had 119,000 miles on it when I bought it. No check engine light, no nothing going on with it. It was literally a really nice car, really good shape, and I mean, for the most part, that's still pretty much true today. This Explorer is only a 300 vehicle, me being the third. It was very well taken care of, and one of the things when I bought it is that it didn't need anything done to it. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, all I really did to it after buying it was give it a tune-up. New spark plugs, new coil pack, new plug wires. That's about it, but I mean, I'll get more into that as I continue here. But the exterior is still in pretty good shape. Everything on it, bone stock. I haven't replaced anything on it in terms of, the outside or anything like that, but let me go ahead and show you the inside. As you can see, the inside is still pretty much the same from the last video. I haven't really done anything in here. Basically still the same. I did break this center console, which sucked, but I literally broke it off, whatever. Everything in this car is still the same, except for what you might notice is new is this lanyard and some of these things I got hanging down from the mirror. I'm a college student, so a lanyard I got there. I got this phone holder I use to hold my iPhone and all that when I'm driving, want to listen to music. As you can see now, the Explorer has 155,690 on it for miles. I've really put some miles on this thing since I got it. Other things to notice, the steering wheel cruise control buttons are really bad. The Texas heat down here during the summer is terrible, and it's literally melted these buttons off. The off button is still there. It hasn't gone yet, but the on button is just completely gone. And these were fine up until recently, and now these are starting to go. So I don't really mess with them anymore because I don't want to speed up the process of losing them, but I mean, these are melting away too, so it probably won't be long. Other things to note, I did break the door lock on this. Stupid me, that's another long story, but now the only way to unlock the car is to either jiggle the key on the outside and put in the code, or open up the passenger door and reach over and grab this door handle down here to open it. Yeah, let me go around real quick, show you some things. I sure do pick a good time to record a video though, because now it's starting to rain. But here's the hatch. I did recently have a subwoofer in the back. It was a 12-inch Lightning Audio 3000 watt sub with a Class D monoblock amp, also 3000 watts. These are the 0 gauge wires and remote wire that's left over from the system. I don't have it anymore. I keep my toolbox back here now. The subwoofer box itself was massive and it took up most of the space back here, but it's really nice not having it anymore. I guess I just realized like I don't need it anymore, and it's nice to have that space back. So I don't know why I have a socket out of the toolbox, but whatever. A little bit of crap over here in the storage compartment, and then back here, of course, I probably told you in the first video, that's where the jack is and the tire changing tools. You got a little door lock back here as well, which controls every lock on this vehicle. The hatch is a 2-tier, like I probably told you in the first video. Really nice access ways back here. So the passenger side, again, it's pretty much all the same. The glove box is full of crap, but you know, whatever. And then back seat. This car's really dirty though. I haven't given it any TLC in a while, and it shows. I need to, but you know, for the most part, again, it's all bone stock. Nothing has been done to this vehicle on the inside or outside. All bone stock. But for the most part, this vehicle's held up very well over the 5 years that I've owned it. Let me show you the engine. So one thing I love about these Fords is that they use hydraulic arms to hold up the hood. You don't have to deal with a hood rod or anything, which is really nice. But to get a little bit more technical, this thing does have the 4.0 liter single overhead cam V6 motor, and I've done my fair amount of research on these engines, and I've learned that this thing has supposedly, what I read on a few threads online, it has three or four, there's like 3 different timing chains in it and a central jack shaft. I don't know, but what I gathered from all my research is that this is an interesting V6 to say the least. Whether it has those 3 different timing chains in it or not, just please don't break down. That's all I gotta say. Because I don't know how costly that's gonna be if it ever happens, but for the most part, this V6 runs fine. I have no issues with it. It makes an anemic 210 horsepower. It's really nothing to write home about. This Explorer is pretty damn sluggish. It has no acceleration. Keeping up with traffic it's decent at best. Like, I can get down the road fine, but I mean, I'm not gonna win any races in this Explorer. But I mean, this car was never built to win races. It wasn't built to challenge any other vehicles out on the road. I mean, you're not gonna go up against a Lexus or a Mercedes, or hell, even some of the pickups out there. Like, this thing wasn't meant to, you know, win races. It excels great at what Ford designed it to be, which was an off-road utility vehicle. If I had the 4-wheel drive, it'd be really good at off-roading, but this one's just a 2-wheel drive, so, you know. And then Ford also designed it to be a great family SUV, and these Explorers were very popular back in the 90s and early 2000s for being great family SUVs, and this thing is still a great vehicle today. It's my daily driver, and I mean, it's a great vehicle to take around the city. It's comfortable. I've got plenty of room. I've got plenty of storage. Like, I have plenty of storage. And plenty of room for all my friends. They do struggle a little bit to get into the back seat because you have to crawl through. Again, this is only the 2-door sport model. But, I mean, for the most part, this thing does just fine. It works. And I love this Explorer. Like, it's really a great vehicle, and, you know, I'd love to do more to it. I just haven't had the time or the money, but I'd love to, you know, throw some upgrades on here, maybe give it a lift, some new struts, new rims maybe, definitely tint the windows. The factory tint on this isn't bad. It's pretty dark actually, you can barely even see in there. I'd love to extend that tint to the front, you know, to these windows here. But other than that, like, you know, bone stock 01 Explorer, not bad. But let me go ahead and fire it up so y'all can hear how it sounds, and I can get into more stuff about this car and then take it for a little drive so you can see how that is. So yeah, let's get to that. Alright guys, so now we're in the Explorer and we're going to go for a little test drive, let you hear how it runs and everything and how it sounds. So for 2001 Explorers, especially with most cars around that time frame, keyless entry, push button start, that wasn't really a thing back then. So here's the original key for the Ford, and here is the fob for it. It uses a separate fob from the key, just to remind you of what time we're talking about here. I upgraded the case for the fob, but the internals are original. The unlock button is going out, like I really have to push it super hard to get it to register, but the lock button still works just fine. And annoyingly, this panic button still works perfectly fine. In fact, it's a little too sensitive. I have accidentally set the alarm off on my car because of how sensitive that button is, and it gives me a heart attack every time and probably pisses off the neighbors, but that still works. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and stick the key in the ignition here. And here's the Explorer. Alright, so this thing fires up piece of cake every single time. I don't have any issues with it starting. It just purrs away. The V6 has a very nice, refined, quiet sound to it, which I wasn't really expecting from an Explorer of this time period. But since this vehicle was in such good shape when I bought it, I have, you know, a good enough reason to believe that's why this vehicle sounds so good. It sounds brand new, and honestly, it sounds a little too quiet, which I say that because I was not expecting this vehicle to sound so quiet and refined when I bought it, but it does. So that's great, you know, like this vehicle sounds really good. It's got the stock head unit, and there's the climate control. Again, everything on this thing works perfectly, but it is a little hot out, even though it's morning time, but it's a little hot. So go ahead and get that AC going, and as you can probably hear, that AC works perfectly. When I bought the Explorer, the Freon was recharged, so I didn't have to worry about that. But I do have a check engine light on, so let me go ahead and get into that before I start the drive. I replaced the spark plugs like I said, but I didn't tell you that I must have messed up somewhere. I've got a misfire, and my Explorer is throwing a P0306 for a misfire in cylinder number 6. That's the code that it's throwing, and that is the only reason that check engine light is illuminated. I've replaced the spark plugs twice on this thing, and ever since I messed with it, it's had a misfire problem. It didn't misfire when I bought it, but it misfires now, and I just haven't done anything about it because the vehicle is still drivable. And I know that's bad, but it's still drivable. And I'm really wanting to fix that misfire problem, but I just haven't done it yet. So I need to get under there and do the plugs again and just try to fix it, because I'm pretty sure it's either gapping or one of the plugs isn't in all the way, but I need to get it done. And then the other thing I'll mention is I believe my temperature sending unit isn't working properly, or my thermostat is stuck open, because my temp gauge does not register anything if it's not, like, I know it's going to sound weird, but it's got to be really hot out and the AC on for that gauge to go up. So either the sending unit's not working and it's not allowing this gauge to register, or the thermostat's stuck open and the engine is running cold. But that's not really an issue for me, because like I know the cooling system is working fine. No leaks, no nothing. I know that. So, I mean, I'm not really messing with that. But give it a few revs for you guys. I mean, it sounds beautiful when it revs. Like, it doesn't misfire when I drive it, like going down the road. If I give it too much gas, it'll misfire, but really it misfires when I'm sitting at red lights or stop signs and I'm in drive. So all my friends, everyone I've talked to said it's the spark plugs. I believe it's the spark plugs. The check engine light says it's the spark plugs, right? P0306. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the seatbelt on. I do this when I'm holding a camera. Sorry guys. Alright, there we go. Switch over. One thing I do like about this Explorer is some of the features it came with. It has an annoying dinger that will go off if I don't buckle up. And it goes off every so often. So, you got me. I buckle up. I buckle up because I don't want to hear that annoying dinger go off all the time. And let me go ahead and put on my headlights. So, you can't feel it right now because it's a video, but it's misfiring. But now that I'm, taking off, it's not misfiring anymore. But anyways, as you can see, it drives fine. No issues with it. It steers, it handles great. It drives fine. I'm just in my apartment complex. I don't really want to drive around on main roads holding a camera. Just because I know it's a little tricky to drive with a camera. It's not a GoPro or anything, it's just a Kodak Z990. I don't need any trouble from anyone or cops, but just keep it here in the complex. But it drives fine, as you can see. No issues whatsoever. All my gauges work perfectly except for the temp gauge, like I said. Check engine light is the only light that's illuminated on this, so the vehicle really doesn't have any issues. It does fine. I'm gonna go ahead and come through the main gates of my complex here. It idles like a champ though. Like, I say that because I know that there's nothing wrong with anything on the engine except those plugs. It idles perfectly. Everything, I know all the sensors are working fine. I'm gonna go ahead and floor it real quick. It has good pickup though, I'm telling you. With only 210 horsepower, this thing is, it's not going to win any races. It's not going to beat newer cars out on the road. But for what it is, it's not bad. 210 horsepower is totally doable. It's enough horsepower to get this thing up and moving, but again, this is a heavy vehicle. I think it's weighted around 4,500 pounds to 5,000 pounds. So I mean, it's a heavy vehicle. These Explorers are known for being a little top heavy, so you definitely feel the body roll when you throw this thing into turns. You feel the weight of the vehicle, but for the most part, like I said, this thing rides really quiet. You probably can't hear any road noise at all. I mean, I'm only doing like 10 miles an hour, but still, it's really quiet. And you know, for the most part, this vehicle runs really good. It drives fine when when it's not misfiring. And I've learned how to drive it with the misfire to really minimize when it misfires. So, I mean, if you were to ride in this thing with me, you wouldn't even be able to notice, because I've gotten good at, minimalizing when you feel that. But I'll just go around one more time so you can see. Drives fine. The drive gear, the second gear, and the first gear all work perfectly, neutral and reverse. I mean, this thing looks good going down the road, I think. I like looking over the hood of it, and just driving it. It feels like a bigger vehicle when you're inside of it. You feel like you're kind of high up off the ground. You feel like you're just driving a bigger vehicle than what it really is. It almost feels like you're driving a truck sometimes. But, remember, it's just a Ford Explorer. Alright guys, sorry about that. I ran out of camera storage. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video now and park the car. Just wanted to kind of show you what's going on here. A little update on the Explorer. So let's go ahead and pull it in here. Beautiful park job, beautiful. Oh yeah, there we go. And we'll go ahead and kill the AC. And let's go ahead and shut her down. Probably hope I put it in park too, huh? So the vehicle shuts right off, piece of cake. And then just put my seat belt. But yeah, that's how it drives. And this is pretty much what's been going on with her. So I just want to give you all an updated review video so you can kind of see what's been happening with my Explorer. This is over 5 years of owning her. I just realized it's been 5 years now. And I gotta say, this has been one of the best vehicles I've ever bought. It's really taken care of me. It's really been a trustworthy, reliable vehicle. If I can just fix that misfiring, I don't see why I couldn't drive this thing for quite a few more years. I mean, she doesn't really show any signs of breaking down or running into any major mechanical issues, but, all in all, what a great vehicle. And I see a lot of these Explorer Sports on the road, this exact model. I see them all the time, people still driving them. I think it just goes to show what a great vehicle it is and what a great job Ford did with it. And I'm just a big fan of Explorers personally. I especially love the brand new ones that are out on the road. Those things are nice, but I like mine too. Go ahead and lock it up so I can show you. Perfect. But anyways guys, thanks for watching. Thank you for tuning into my channel and giving the video a check out. If you like what you saw, please give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.